watched a video recently that talked about learning styles and said that most of us have been trained to believe that we have a style of preferred learning, that we are very visual or perhaps audio oriented or perhaps kinesthetic. We learn best by doing. And this video pointed out that actually none of this seems to be intrinsically true. They tested it and it showed that there aren't preferred models of learning, even though we all seem to think that there is a best way for each of us to learn. So the upside of this is when you're trying to teach something to your audience, if you're in an interview or delivering a presentation and you're trying to communicate something important to your audience that you want them to walk away with in their head, really good news is you don't have to figure out, okay, I need to do something for the people who learn best in an auditory way, and I need to do something else for the people who learn best in a visual way, and I need to learn something else for those folks who are kinesthetic. What you can know is the more you provide information in a visual way and an auditory way, and perhaps a kinesthetic way to get them to do something, the more you can combine these, the higher the likelihood that you're going to communicate what you want to communicate, and they're going to walk away with what you want them to walk away with. The ultimate point that I'm getting at here is if you're putting together a presentation and you have a visual component, say slides, what you want is to design these slides to reinforce what you are saying with your mouth. Have the slides strengthen the point that you're making, not by putting words on the screen, but by creating a visual that is consistent with the words coming out of your mouth. It's a visual capturing that's equivalent to what you're talking about. It complements what you're talking about. It doesn't compete with it. If you put words on a screen, that's competitive to the words coming out of your mouth, unless it's exactly the same words that are coming out of your mouth, in which case it's a little bit odd. It's almost like you're asking people to read along to whatever you're saying out loud. Or maybe you're looking up at the screen and you're reading something out loud to them. The only reason to do that, I think, is if there's a really fantastic quote that somebody else said and you don't have a video capturing of it or an audio capturing of it, you can put the words of the quote up on the screen and you can read it out loud to your audience and they can read right along with it. But that, I think, is the only scenario where you want to have a bunch of words on the screen. Instead, think about the point that you are trying to make, the idea that you are trying to convey, and think, is there a visual that can strengthen this point so that people can walk away with it in their heads? And if the answer to that is no, then maybe you don't need a slide for that point. Maybe you don't need a slide for absolutely everything you're looking to communicate. If you do have slides for other things, you could just turn the slides off and talk to your audience. Think about that and let me know what you think about it. I would definitely like to hear any opinion you have on the matter.